Guys, Mike here with True Trading Group. May 22nd was a pretty good day today. We had better action, kind of like I expected after getting an all-day runner yesterday at SNES. I expected a little bit more action in the small cap market today, and we got some. We got a lot of action in really cheap stocks that trade below $1. We got some really good movement and some really good action in those. That was kind of the mood of the day was definitely these cheap stocks. I don't usually trade stocks that are this low price, but as long as the volume is there, guys, I'll go after a setup as long as there's enough liquidity for me to get in and out of my desired position size. So I'm going to go over the two trades with you today. A 17.5% gain in RHE and a 10% move in ANY. And I'm going to talk to you about the importance of taking profit in front of resistance levels, because both of these trades, RHE and ANY, ended up failing later in the day. All right. And if you were not taking profit in front of these resistance levels, then you would have let a winning trade turn into a break even, or worse, a losing trade. Okay. And this kind of talks a little bit about my tier trading strategy. When I'm selling out of a position, guys, I never sell my entire position all at once. When a stock gives me its first move, I sell 25% of my position. When I get a little bit more follow through, I sell half my position. So now I'm only down to 25%. So 25% and 50%, I'm holding on to 25% of my position in case we get continuation and some real follow through. By doing that, it does multiple things. One, it will help you stay in a winning trade longer. It's one thing that is a very common misconception, that people think that in order to have bigger winners, you have to buy more size. It's actually not true. Okay, or in order to get bigger winners, you have to hold on to your position longer. Not true. To stay in a winning trade longer and to get the most out of your winners, you actually need to sell quicker. What do I mean by that? By taking 25% of your position off the table, as soon as the stock makes that first move, not only does that lock in profit for you, decrease your risk for the rest of the position in case the stock fails, you can walk away still net profitable. But secondly, it lightens your position. You lock in profit. It now makes it easier for you to hold on to the rest of your position and let the stock make its move. Okay, if you have 10,000 shares, you get a quick pop, you're up 12%, bang, you drop 2,500 shares. Now, when the stock pulls back in, you're not as nervous. You're not looking at your P&L saying, "Oh man, I'm up $500. I better take my profit." And you'll be a lot more at ease in the trade. Okay, and that'll help you stay in winning trades longer, because you'll hold through a pullback or some choppy action while the stock works its way through the pattern and makes its move. Okay, and that's why I implement this tiered trading strategy as I scale out of my position size. And that method really helped me lock what turned out to be a really nice day. And both the stocks that I traded ended up failing later in the day. So had I not taken any profit, I would have ended the day red. Instead, I'm well into the green. Okay, so let's talk about these two trades, RHE and ANY. And we'll start things off with ANY. It was actually my first trade of the day. Okay, and what I want you to notice on ANY had a nice close yesterday. Had nice action into the close, started to get some volume, pushed higher, had a real strong close. So today we open up and the stock immediately shoots higher. This kind of touches upon the volume lesson that I went over in my previous video. Okay, real strong, heavy volume as the stock surges higher. And then we got much lower volume on the pullback. We pulled back a little deeper than I originally would have liked. I was watching ANY to actually hold like 58 because of the Fibonacci levels on it. But it pulled back deeper than I originally wanted it to. But what got my attention was this strong green candle right here after we held this VWAP area and volume started to increase again. Once I saw this big volume candle right here, guys, that is when I jumped in long at 615 right here. Take you to my trade announcements. Now, let me zoom that in so you guys can see it a little more clear. Here it is at 9:50 a.m. Long ANY at 615, stop loss 57. Okay, so as soon as I jumped in here at 615, we immediately break out through the high and then start to push. Back to my trade announcements. I took some profit at 679, still holding some. So I sold 25% of my position at 679. Why did I do that? Because we were coming up to a resistance level on the daily chart, which is a gap entry. I was looking for this ANY to push into this gap on the daily. And I'll zoom in, I'll show you the gap I'm referring to. Here is this gap that I'm referring to. This gap entry is 66 cents. Okay, I was looking for us to break into this gap and then push and go do a gap fill up to this 50-day moving average, which lines up perfectly. I'll draw the line out for you. Previous support, okay, lines up perfectly with the 50-day moving average, and I thought that we were going to make that move today in ANY. Okay, that is the move that I was looking for. The first thing we had to get through was this gap entry, 66 cents. Okay, so once I got long at 615, okay, again, I'm long right here at 615, we pushed straight through the high of the day, and we just surged straight through 66. So as soon as we popped through 66, I just threw some stock out there, 25% of my position, and I took some profit off the table at 679 for a 10% gain, and I was holding on to the bulk of my position still. So I sold 25% of my position. I'm still holding 75%, looking for us to hold that gap entry and push up into the gap. But it didn't happen. Okay, the stock ended up failing. What I was looking to have happen here, guys, was actually I really, at this point, was looking for this 62-cent area to hold support, because the initial morning high, let me readjust that fib, there it is. So that initial morning high right here was lining up with the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, which also was lining up with VWAP. So that's the area that I wanted to see hold support. Okay, that's where I was prepared to hold on to the rest of my position to see if we can find support there and then start to push our way up into the gap. But it didn't happen. We ended up breaking down below that support, and I sold out of the rest of my position right here. Sold out remaining ANY at 61. So I took a small loss on the bulk of my position, but by taking 25% of my position off the table at 679 for a 10% gain, I'm actually walking away from what was a failed trade. Okay, as I pan over, you can see ANY ended up failing later in the day. So a failed breakout, I'm actually walking away from the trade net positive, and it's because of that tiering system to scale out of position size and take profits in front of resistance levels. Okay. Next is RHE. Another good example of a trade that failed. Look at this chart. You can see right away that this failed. Okay, here's your big breakout move. It was not able to hold support, rolls back over, and collapses the rest of the day. Okay, let's zoom in and go over the trade. This was a very basic setup as far as previous highs become support. I'll draw it out for you guys. Here is your previous high of the day. We break through that high on very strong volume, the heaviest volume the stock experienced the entire day. We break through it. When you get that, you look for that previous high to hold support. There it is. There's your support holding. I jumped in here, guys, at 40 cents. Okay, right here on this, in this candle, right there in this candle. Take it to my trade announcements. Long RHE, 40 cents. Stop loss 37. That was at 10:18 a.m. Okay, long at 40 cents. And that was because I was looking for that previous high to hold support. We hold. Strong volume comes in again, pushes us higher, and I start taking profits. Back to my trade announcements, you see I sold 25% of my position at 45 cents at 10:20. 3 minutes later, I sold the bulk of my position, so now half my position I sold at 47 cents. That's a 17.5% gain, and I was still holding on to 25% of my position, looking for a follow-through and for continuation. Okay. When we go to the daily chart, why was I taking profits at 45 and 47? This 200-day moving average is what we were coming up on. The 200-day moving average was 46. So as soon as we popped through the high of the day, okay, I wanted to take some profit off the table in front of the 200-day moving average. That's why I took some off at 45. Then we go bust through 45, we bust through 46, we go up to 47. Now I said, okay, now we pierced through the 200-day moving average. Momentum took us through the 200-day. Now I'm going to take more profit. Okay, but now I'm going to hold on to a piece of my position to see if we get continuation. Okay, because we were holding this previous high was lining up with VWAP, and we were holding support. Okay, so I was holding on to 25% of my position, looking to see, you know, maybe we get like a TTD triangle pattern. This support holds. We end up breaking out of the downtrend resistance line, and maybe we get some follow-through continuation moves on RHE, and that was why I was holding on to 25% of my position, but we didn't get it. Okay, so I ended up stopping out of the rest of my position right here as we broke down below that support level. I'll take you back to my trade announcements. Sold out remaining RHE at 378. Okay, and that's really, you know, that's two trades now that my final sell was for a loss. But because I'm tearing out of these positions and because I'm looking to take profits in front of resistance levels, I'm able to walk away from both of these trades net positive. Okay, RHE was a really nice trade. 17.5% gain on the bulk of my position was a really nice trade. Okay, and is responsible for most of my profits on the day. But the lesson to take from today's trading action is why it is important to take profits on the way up and to not just hold on to your entire position, okay, hoping that you get an all-day runner. That's not the way to trade. That's not a good strategy. You should never go into a trade just saying, I'm going to hold on to my position. I'm going to look for this to run the entire day. Okay, that's foolish because stocks make great moves that end up collapsing later in the day. And if you just sit there and hold through it, I would have watched RHE go up 20% from my entry and then all the way back down well below my entry, and I would have lost. Okay, so it's important to take profits on the way up. That's why I scale out of my positions, and you want to look to take profits in front of resistance levels. Okay, guys? So good stuff today. I'm still long SE, my swing trade from May 16th from $11.50. I took some profits off at $12.87 the other day or last week, and then I took the bulk of my position off at $13.34 on SE, again long from $11.50, and I'm still holding on to a small piece of this position just to see if we get a little bit more. I'm looking for like 14 to 14.50. We'll see if we get that in the in the coming days or week. So just want to give you a quick little update on that trade. All right, guys. So good stuff. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow morning. We'll do it again. Take care.